Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and we're here with obviously the trailer breakdown for Spider-Man 2, the video game, PS4, PS5, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be PS5 now, isn't it?
No chance this is on PS4.
But yeah, it was revealed at the PlayStation showcase yesterday with a lot of other great reveals, so we'll probably be talking about that on a stream or in a separate video. We'll keep you guys updated with that. But yeah, let's just talk about this. I mean, I think we saw it coming, but I didn't see them showing this. Like, I couldn't see them showing this much, but they did, and it was. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
What they showed wasn't what I was expecting them to show, but I don't know, how do I word this? I expected them to show a CGI trailer because that's what I predicted beforehand. That we'd see some sort of trailer announcing that it's in development. We weren't going to see gameplay, obviously. But I wasn't expecting them to show the character that they did at the end. That was a shocker. I thought they'd save it for the actual game. But what a great trailer. Nice tease. Obviously, we got to wait till 2023, so 2 years. And it's probably going to be pretty much about 2 years, because the Spider-Man games, the past two have come out. First one came out in September of 2018, and the second one came out in November last year. It's almost been a year since Miles Morales came out.
Oh, this year's gone past like very, very quickly.
I know. But the stuff they showed from the game looks fun, and I guess let's go into a trailer breakdown because there's quite a bit to talk about, even though the trailer was quite short.
Yeah, it starts off. I guess when we saw the first shot of the diner, it wasn't your typical kind of Spider-Man shot.
It was. I feel like in hindsight, I should have known that it was Spider-Man because of certain things that were there. But I don't know. I guess like when we were watching that stream, I was like kind of flustered in a way because of all the other stuff they'd showed. So I was like, I wasn't expecting them, especially with the Wolverine trailer, I wasn't expecting them to show Spider-Man.
Yeah, also, when we tried to stream, it didn't really go as planned, so we were a bit distracted as well.
Yeah, sorry about that. Again, just internet issues, the internet being itself. But with the opening shot, there was a few things, for example, on the right side of the screen, you see like a sign that says Mikhail's Diner, or something like that. I think that's supposed to be Mick's Diner from the first game, which is cool. That's where Stan Lee had his cameo and all that stuff, which was pretty cool. Then also, you see electricity go up a lamppost. I assume that's maybe Electro coming back in some way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, maybe. Or it might just be something to do with Miles, but yeah, I'd probably lean more towards Electro, because there was nothing there to do with Miles until he shows up like 20 seconds after.
Yeah, and then also on that lamppost is a street sign there for Goodman Street, and that's Martin Goodman, who was the publisher of, I think he was the publisher, I think, at the time when Marvel were creating all their big superheroes, but they made Spider-Man. So Martin Goodman's the guy who basically approved well, he didn't technically approve him. He said that it was a bad idea, and then Stan Lee kind of just put him in Amazing Fantasy, and then the rest is history. But yeah, they referenced him as well, which is cool.
I mean, then we get they were cutting to these weird shots of the suits in like
it's like
they weren't obviously in a scene. They were on a black background, which and the graphics looked crazy.
Yeah, the detail on the suits looked really good. Yeah,
that's why obviously you can tell that this isn't going to be made for PS4. This is probably just going to be a PS5 exclusive.
You can tell that this definitely isn't going to be on PS4 because they showed God of War later. That looked like it could. It's like, okay, this could feasibly run on a PS4. And that actually is going to release on PS4. There's no possible way that is running on a PS4. Just the way it looked amazing. Even as good as like a game like Last of Us 2 looked. The detail on this, especially on the biggest improvement you could tell was on Spider-Man, like Peter Parker's suit. The red parts of his suit. The detail on it was so like pristine and clear. It was really good.
Yeah, and I think there's like there's a color difference to the first game, and the red's a lot darker, which I'm a massive fan of.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people were saying that they were big fans of the fact that the red is a lot darker, which I mean I think it's cool as well. To be fair,
we get the shot of Spider-Man with his the Iron Spider arms, which I wasn't expecting him to have.
That was a bit weird. I was thinking, how's this happened? I don't know, but
they look quite like slightly out of place on that suit. I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely think that that's gonna be like one of the bigger features of the next game.
The only question I have is, I wonder why he. I mean, I get actually. I just thought the answer to my own question. I was going to say, why didn't he like make those to fight Dark Ark? But I guess he didn't really have time, did he? He just kind of makes the anti-Ark suit when he's like all beaten up at the end of the first game, and then goes to fight Dark Ark. So it makes sense why he didn't make those. Maybe that's where he got the idea of these legs in this version. He maybe got them from Dark Ark.
Maybe. I mean, I think they look a bit out of place on this suit, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I think so too. I thought it was a bit weird. I mean, it's cool. Like, gameplay-wise, it'll be really fun to use. Just design-wise, it looks a little strange. Maybe we just have to get used to it.
I think we'll get used to it. I mean, we have to get used to his bloody Hom-Tolland face, so the thing is
God, thank God they didn't show him unmasked on this trailer, because, like, I'm still not over that change.
Would it put you off?
Yeah, I'm still not over that change. I still think he looks terrible, but...
He looked perfect in the first guy, whoever they used.
John Bobniak is his name.
They didn't have to make him look younger than Miles. I don't. That's a whole different thing, though. I guess we'll have to discuss that when the game actually comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got 2 years until that comes out anyway. But yeah. So we see him kick an enemy up into the air. It's not really clear which enemy it is. It kind of looks like Finn's like.
It looked
henchman.
I saw like I don't remember which part it was. I don't know if it's Peter or Miles who's fighting. They look kind of like tribal in a way. They looked, which links into the person who obviously we hear at the beginning of the trailer. We hear a voiceover, and pretty much throughout most of the trailer. If that's not Kraven the Hunter, I'm gonna bash my head off against my monitor or something. I don't know. I'll do something.
Oh, hold on. Actually, you're right. Yeah, you're right. They are tribal, yeah.
Because they looked like they were related to Kraven somehow. Because obviously, it makes sense that Kraven would be, well, A, be in this game in general, and B, on the trailer, that voice has to be. There's no way that's not Kraven.
Yeah, there's not. I don't think this. There's no way that's not. Yeah, that's the only other person I could think it is. Maybe it's like. But this is like a very, very like big stretch. Chameleon, but that's a really big stretch.
Yeah, no, it has to be.
Because Chameleon doesn't talk like that. He doesn't say stuff like that.
Even the words he was saying, that's the sort of thing that, or not even the sort of thing, that's exactly like what Kraven would say. So that's not Kraven.
Well, to be fair,
bait and switch.
To be fair, with the first shot with Miles, there's a guy that flies towards him like two blades which are lit up, and he's wearing like tribal face paint. So I definitely think it is Kraven.
Kraven's henchman or something. I don't know.
And obviously, we get the big reveal, which everyone's been gassing over the past 24 hours of Venom. And at the end, and obviously,
great,
like you were saying,
and his voice.
Yeah, he looks
Tony
amazing.
Todd voices Venom, who was in the recent Candyman movie. He also voices him in The Flash. So they got a good actor to voice him too.
Yeah, everything about Venom looks great. It's just one thing which we'll get into later, which they could do.
Shout out to Jay, by the way, because I remember, just quick, small side story. I sent him the trailer and I said, watch this, and he watched it. And then he said that, why does Venom sound like Zoom? Like, this is before he even read, I didn't even know it was Tony Todd either. And then I went on Instagram, and the first thing that came up was Tony Todd, who voices Zoom, will voice Venom. I was like, oh, well done, Jay, so shout out to you.
Yeah, obviously, with the reveal of Venom, we can assume that Spider-Man's going to get his black suit.
Especially with the logo, because it's a black logo with a white emblem.
Yeah. And then it's, obviously, you had mentioned this to me earlier, which I completely forgot about, Kraven's Last Hunt, where he gets the black suit, fights Kraven, so that would make complete sense. If it's not Kraven, I don't know who it is. That is, like...
The only other person with a foreign accent that I can think of is maybe, which I really hope it's not him, is Morbius, but... I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Morbius. It's not Chameleon. It's Kraven. There's no way that it's not Kraven. There's no person on this earth.
Even what he's saying, that's like stuff that Kraven would say.
That's what's the main thing that's convincing me. There is no way on this earth that you can convince me that it's not Kraven until someone shows me evidence that it's not. It's Kraven.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, we get obviously them fighting, and it was amazing. You get the close-ups of the masks. It looks great. Then they look into the dark alley, and Venom, the voice, like you said, it sounds great. It gave me, I was watching it gave me chills.
Yeah, and he says, yes, we will, I think, when Kraven says that who will basically be an equal to me.
Yeah, and That was great. I mean, I think that, yes, we will. You know, if that's in the game, obviously, the stuff that's in the trailer, obviously, you know, because how it was like in Miles Morales, the trailer was obviously just like all for like show.
I mean, yeah, that was like the first trailer for Spider-Man PS4. The gameplay parts were in the game, but the, like, all the dialogue and stuff, that wasn't in the game. Like, he had like a whole speech about how protecting Queens is like, or how protecting the whole city when you're just a kid from Queens is hard, or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but none of that dialogue was in the game. And also, there's parts of this that, obviously, there's no gameplay on this trailer, because the game's in early-ish development, I guess. But they did have the thing where, obviously, Peter and Miles were fighting those two guys, and they kind of webbed them down together. People thought that might be co-op, but according to the PlayStation blog, it says this is going to be an epic single-player experience, so I don't know if that, like, deconfirms co-op or anything, but, I mean, it'd be cool if there's co-op. I'd like it.
The thing is with co-op, I mean, you also mentioned this to me earlier when we were talking, is that they might not want to go that route because of Avengers.
Which I think is, like, idiotic, because just because one game did it wrong doesn't mean that this game has to do it wrong. Like, they could just have it, and you could either choose if you want to play as Peter or Miles, or if you want to play together, just increase the enemy count and have the other person play as Miles and the other person play as Peter.
Yeah, I definitely think that, I think that they should have implemented that, because I remember Miles Morales came out. There was just loads of people saying, "Oh, now that they've developed Miles quite a bit, they can now introduce co-op, and that's going to be really fun. We could friends could play through the story together." I think that it might be slightly disappointing, but I'm more excited for the story and the single player gameplay than more than anything anyway.
Me too,
so
I love
it wouldn't disappoint me too much, but. That's pretty much the trailer. We get this to 2023 at the end. We get obviously the black logo with the white emblem on it, which is going to obviously referencing the black suit.
Yeah.
And let's just talk about like a few predictions, because obviously we know from the end kind of credits from the first game that Harry's being like treated by the Venom symbiote. That's what's keeping him alive, because he's got an illness or something. So.
Please,
just... Will we see Harry as Venom?
Please, just... Oh, God, I don't want that to happen. Like, I don't understand this whole thing that's come about recently where they just want... I think... Did it start in Ultimate Spider-Man, that garbage cartoon?
God, yes, it did start in Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know why anyone should take, like, advice from that show.
Where they wanted to make Harry Venom. My hope and guess is that Harry will just kind of show up in the game. I think this is the route it'll go. They'll somehow introduce Eddie Brock at some point in the game, and they'll have Harry as well. They won't tell us who Venom is, and then Harry will like be there throughout the game, and Peter will be like, "How did you get better?" And Harry will be like, "I don't know. I was my dad cured me somehow using something." And they'll make it like they'll build it up as if Harry's Venom, and then eventually at the end of the game they'll reveal it's Eddie or something like that. That's what I think they might do. I don't know.
I think one of the only ways they could set that up is if they bring Eddie and he's close to Norman or Harry. Like, in terms of a friend or like a friendship way.
Unless Spider-Man gets his hands on the symbiote first. Because we don't know if... I mean, I don't know. Does Spider-Man have the black suit yet? Because they do reference it in the first game. When Yuri says to him, like, if you have a black and white suit, then maybe you could... I don't remember what it was. Did he say something about like a police...
Something to do with stealth, I think.
No, it's I don't remember what it was. Something to do with the police. But it was like some joke, and then she says, not unless you have a black and white suit, and then Spider-Man kind of goes, like, in a way to say, like, well, I might have done at some point. So I don't know if that was just a joke.
That could be completely disregarded, because it was like the side stuff, but, I mean, I think maybe the only way that's not going to be Harry is that, say if, like, Peter's, like, I don't know, say Harry, he asks Harry, how did you get cured? And then Harry's like, oh yeah, this is the thing that cured me. He just gives it to Peter. And Peter then, like, it attaches to him. And then it somehow finds its way to Eddie Brock. And then, obviously, while it's finding its way to Eddie, that's when we have the Craven stuff going on. And then, but I think there is a very, very big chance of it being Harry, only because there's this talk about Green Goblin being set up for the third game. Green Goblin's probably going to be created because of Harry's death, and Harry's only going to die because of Venom. So Venom's either going to have to kill Harry, or Spider-Man's going to have to kill Harry while he's as Venom.
Do you think that's how Green Goblin will come about? I think he might just come about like the same way he always does.
Well, yeah, that could be the same way it always does, because to be fair, his tech already exists.
Yeah, because we saw pumpkin bombs in the first game. By the way, I mean, it's a bit late now, but spoilers if you somehow never played Spider-Man PS4. I don't know what the hell you were doing if you're a Spider-Man
I don't know why
fan,
you'd be watching this,
yeah.
but...
there were pumpkin bombs and obviously schematics and stuff for Green Goblin, but I don't think Green Goblin will be in this game. I've seen some people say that he might. I don't think he will be, because my guess is that they're going to do one big villain per game. So the first game it was Dark Ark, which they didn't show on any of the trailers of the first game, by the way. So I'm a little shocked they showed Venom on the first trailer for this game. But I think Venom will be the big villain for this game, and then Green Goblin will be the last one, and then that'll be probably be the last game with just Spider-Man for some time at least.
Yeah, because then I think they will focus on Wolverine and then that kind of stuff after that. But they can't have Venom in this game not having be the biggest villain. That's why I don't think
he's just going to overshadow everyone else. I mean, the only other villain who would overshadow him is Green Goblin, but they're not going to do that, I don't think. I think Green Goblin will be safe in the third game. And if Green Goblin is in this, I feel like that might be a bit, depending on how long it is, it might be a bit too much to juggle in one game. I don't know. It depends how long the game is, though. We don't know.
I'm not sure.
It's very early days yet, because obviously we're going to have to wait some time before we get another look at it. But the game comes out in 2 years anyway, so...
2 years is a long time to wait, but with gaming, yeah, it's understandable, I guess. But
at least it will be broken like Cyberpunk if they wait that long.
Yeah, obviously, you never expect these kind of games to be broken. I mean, Miles Morales had its like slight issues when it came out, but it legit had like a day one patch and everything was fixed. After that, there was no issues with it.
The only issue I really have with Miles Morales is just like its length, I guess, and the villains. But aside from that, it wasn't like, I thought it was still a great game for while it lasted.
People don't like that game only because obviously I've seen a lot of people who like really trash the game, but I only think it's because I think it's the first one overshadows it quite a lot. Because obviously, the first one's like a masterpiece in my opinion. That's the best Spider-Man game ever made. So. But you can't, I don't think you can still hate on that game because it's like Miles. I don't think you can. Obviously, it's a shorter game, but it's understandable. I think if everyone, if they didn't release Miles Morales and didn't develop his story at all and didn't have him in the next Spider-Man game, people would have complained.
Yeah, I think Miles Morales was a necessary step to get to this game. Because it establishes Miles' gameplay as well. So I think it's good they had one game for Peter, one game for Miles, and this would be the, ultimate fusion thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. And then, that's pretty much all I have to say. It looks pretty good, but like you said, it's early days, so we don't know anything about the story except for Venom's in it and Craven. Well, let's hope it's Craven. Craven's in it. And Spider-Man's got Iron Spider arms now, which is going to be, obviously, probably going to be the new big gameplay feature, because we saw them in Miles Morales because it was part of one of the suits, like the bonus suits. It was just an animation. There was no obviously features with them, which is, I think it's good that they're adding these arms in, because obviously it's going to be a lot more. It's just obviously carrying on, expanding the gameplay. I
mean, they technically had them in the first game, but they'll probably be expanded in this one, but the gameplay with them will be more interesting, I guess. Because in the first game, it was just a suit add-on for the movie Iron Spider, wasn't it?
I reckon it'll just be they'll have a whole new a skill tree and stuff for that, and there'll be all the ways to use it. But I hope we have something new for Miles as well. But one other interesting thing, Miles has blue lightning as well now. I was just about to say that if we're talking about new stuff for Miles, blue and yellow lightning, not just yellow anymore, so that could be something new. Yeah, so I'm excited, man. But how excited can you be when the game's coming out in 2 years? I think we have to hold off until we see a bit more. Yeah. But this is great first look. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they didn't show too much when they showed Venom on the first trailer, but I don't think they... Actually, it's Sony, I don't know anymore. I was going to say, they might not show too much. I'd like to think they wouldn't show too much, but it is Sony, so I don't know. If they mess up Venom again, will you... I don't think your heart can take much more. I don't even know what. If Harry is Venom in this game, I think I might just
throw myself through the window or something. I don't know. I'll have to cause pain to something or someone. It's just, yeah, it's too much. It's like building up too much, man. Bloody Venom's 90 minutes now as well. That's a different topic,
different story. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
So, I guess that's about it. If you guys, well, I assume you watched the trailer if you're watching this video. Let us know what you thought of the trailer down in the comments below. Be sure to hit the like button, share this video around YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Be sure to check out our Instagram and Twitter, links in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. See ya.